So, it's interesting. So I teach a couple different styles of music, West African, Afro-Brazilian, Afro-Cuban. And interesting enough, I've come to find that, as the years pass on, I have more women students than men. I don't know why. So y'all men don't want to drum? What's up?
Men don't like to be told what to do.
I don't know. I wasn't raised this way. I was raised, by way of the culture to embrace my, my ancestors. You know what I'm saying?
When you say you were raised by way of the culture, what does that mean?
I love that question. So, what do we do here? What is extra ancestral? What is Bloco Obini? So
say that again so we can hear.
Bloco Obini.
And is that a different language you're speaking?
We're speaking, Bloco is Portuguese for like a group, a block, a gathering, right?
Bloco, block.
Yes, right? Obini in Yoruba language means women, okay? So that's what this is. The name of this group is Bloco Obini, okay? But that comes under a branch called extra ancestral, okay? And basically, what we do with extra ancestral is we want to connect the dots, okay? We want to show the convergence of the African diaspora. Okay, and we use this to show, okay, if you have music and you have dance and proper ritual, okay, we're not talking, the idea of the dance and yoga and the concepts, but the actual etiquette of the tradition, okay? So taking the tradition and doing healing work in the community, showing the healing effects that the drum and dance have on the community, okay? So this is my purpose, this is what I do, and this is what I do in my classes. I've been to Africa 9 times, I've been to Brazil a bunch of times, I've been to Cuba. I also grew up, doing marching band, drumline. I'm also, from LA, so hip hop is my culture, it's my first culture, it's my first language, you know what I'm saying? And so taking all of that, connecting the dots with all of that, instead of letting the political climate that we're in put us in this state of fear, and then we're all like on Instagram and we're separating our culture and we're like becoming individuals, looking on our phones and doing all this thing, judging what people are doing, but actually saying, okay, there's something bigger than us. This our ancestors. Just because we're gone, they're gone, they're still here. We are the new ancestors. That's how we see. So, sorry, I get hyped up when I talk about my ancestors.
No, I like that because we've been talking about ancestors a lot here on the Tammi MAC Late Show as in the last 2 weeks. And my question is always, why is it important to know our ancestors? How can we hear our ancestors? So I want to ask you, Kahlil, how do you, Kahlil, know when your ancestors are speaking to you?
So personally...
Do they speak to you?
Absolutely.
Okay, and so how do you know?
So when you look in the mirror and you tell yourself you look beautiful, you're blessing your ancestors, and your ancestors are telling you that back because you're telling it to yourself. When you hear this music, when you hear the dance, when you literally... So what's one thing that we all have in common, no matter what, is ancestors, right? We all have ancestors no matter what, as long as we're walking this planet. So... we have to change the narrative of what we look at as death, the pain of death. We look at it as such a sad thing. When you pour liquor out, right, for your homies, that's libation, right? Yeah. When you playing dice and you shooting craps, that's a form of divination, right? So these are forms that we are connecting, and we're doing these rituals, honoring our ancestors, but we don't even know. It's embedded in our culture, but we don't know, but we do know.
Oh, hold on. Okay, because at first, I was about to drink some liquor and be like, I don't know what
is this liquor right here? Is this for me too?
Yeah, that's for you.
May I?
Welcome to the show.
Toast to the ancestors.
A little something for the ancestors. But then I caught up with you because technically what you were really saying was that the things that we do culturally in America are things that are embedded within us, because it's not really something that we've learned here traditionally. It's something that we're getting that has happened a long time ago. So explain to me what the pouring of the liquor out is in our ancestors' term. Like what was their pouring of the liquor? What was that? And what was their throwing the dice? I don't know what dividends and all that. I don't know what that is.
So, obviously, we're talking about the African diaspora. So when I speak of ancestors, I'm obviously honoring the African, ancestry, but this is something that we said in the beginning, right? Everybody has ancestors in common. Pouring liquor on the earth. The earth is one big ancestor, right? In fact, it harvests us, it keeps us here, and then when we go back to the earth.
Right.
Right? So one of my elders said that, you know, the most natural and most beautiful prayer that you can do in life is touch the ground, pour some water out, and say thank you. Right?
Okay.
So
is that an African tradition?
I believe they do that in many traditions.
Oh, okay.
You know, I wouldn't, I mean, obviously, you know, Africa's motherland. It's one of the oldest places on the planet, you know, one of the largest continents. Yes, in Africa, we do pay attention to pouring water out, honoring the earth. And when I say divination, so it's ancient mathematics, right? Music and dance is mathematics. It's ancient mathematics, right? So when you're, you know, before you throw dice, you pray to the dice, right? Come on, bless me. Come on now, bless me.
Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? Let me bring daddy this money back. You know what I'm saying? You throw the dice out. So in certain traditions, they found that they can dictate, right? Because when they didn't have cell phones, when they didn't have computers and all of that stuff, they just had the stars and they just had the earth, right? They had the air. They had, you know, to do things differently. So they were more connected to nature. They were more connected to, if I throw these shells and they land a certain way, they can teach me certain things.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, the shells just didn't have the numbers on them.
Right.
The shells, okay. Oh.
Right.
I'm learning.
Right.
Each one teach one.
I guess for me, growing up, always seeing this as something that was healing.
Yeah.
And dedicating my life towards that work. You know, the healing effects of the drum and the dance, the culture on humanity, you know? And, you know, so I've been fortunate to go to these places and study, and really study, not just, you know, instant gratification, get a couple likes study.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not just, you know, take one video with a teacher and then post it and now I'm teaching.
You're like, I'm in there, I'm studying, and now I'm teaching.
I'm in there for years. I'm lucky to be able to be successful now, but I've been doing this all my life.